Welcome to another poker vlog. This is week 7, 8, whatever it is, and you start us with the worst pocket pair. You can start with the pocket twos. This is, I think, like the second or third hand of the night, and it was just kind of one of those funny things of like, hey, well, it's starting off well, I'm getting a pocket pair, and of course you missed the board with a queen 7, 8, and it's only a heads up. She checks, I check, we get to a turn. And, just kind of one of those things you're hoping to win here. $10 bet. I call the $10, just thinking, yeah, maybe we can hit a 2. We'll be good here if we hit a 2, right? 2? Anybody? 2? And we didn't get there. We ended up winning the hand with pocket pair. And not a bad start tonight. Small pot, but you can't really complain when your horrible pocket pairs are winning. And good start tonight. 4-9 on the river, obviously. And then on to the next hand. We have the Jack 10 offsuit. I actually really like Jack 10. It's one of those, like, you can go up and down Broadway or the lower end of the straight. Obviously, suited is better than non, but can't really complain about it either way. With a $8 raise to my right, I call the raise. We have a call behind us with a call behind him and a call on the button. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to the flop, which is this. Jack 6. Pretty good flop, honestly. Flopping a, trips. Sorry, not set. Can't be that. So we get a $12 bet to our right. We bump it to $25, figuring at the moment we have the best hand, probably. We don't really want to see more clubs out there and want to start getting money into the pot as soon as possible. Try and build it, hopefully getting some other people in, but we get a fold, and a fold. Then it gets back to the original raiser, who we have a little conversation. He's asking me what I have over there and the hems and haws. You can see him. He cuts out the actual calling chips, puts them out there, takes back his original bet. Don't put the 15 in. Put 25 new chips. That's the better way. We get a 4 of clubs on the turn. Not exactly the card that I wanted to see. Obviously brings in the obvious flush draw. So when I get it checked over to me, I bet 35. Probably doesn't make much sense, but I'm figuring I got the 10 clubs. I'm at least blocking something. Trying to still think maybe I got the best card here with the ace of hearts on the river. It gets checked over to me, and I think I've definitely got the best card here. So I go 15, trying to make it look super milky. And, well, I guess technically I got $15 of value there. Probably could have gone bigger, probably not, because he said he had a flush draw. So the $15 was not exactly the worst thing. He did have an ace too, so probably could have gone bigger, but it's a $15 value bet. It's kind of funny. In this next hand, we end up with the ace 10 of hearts. Pretty good hand, pretty good starting hand. Obviously, flush draws, straight draws, royal flush draws. So we make it $15 on the button after it's been limped around to me. We get a call to our left. We get a fold. I don't know what happened down there. Double fold, I guess. And then we get a caller to our right. So we're $45, $50 into this pot technically with the other ones with a 9-5-4 flop. Flopping the nut flush draw. Pretty solid start. I mean, for all things you can wish without flopping, either having a pair or flopping a pair, this is probably the best thing I can hope for here. So when it gets checked around to me, I go $15 on the button again. I get a call to my left and a fold to my right. We have a 5 of diamonds on the river. Or not on the river, sorry, on the turn. We go check. I figure I don't have anything here. And then a 9 of diamonds on the river. And I figure, hey, well, I'm playing the board, but I've got the best kicker. So I go 25, I get fold, and I showed him. He had the exact same hand, just offsuit. So the kicker would have been fine. We would have chopped. Now you join me in the beginning of this hand after a $2 button straddle, a $4 blind raise. I called, and a caller behind me also to a flop of 8, 9, king, flopping 2 pair, and pretty much all you can really hope for when you have $4 limp in, I guess. Who cares? $4, it's just, I'll play any two cards pretty much for that price. So I ended up getting it checked over to me. I bet $15 figuring, hey, I have two pair. At this point, I'm pretty good. Don't really want to see any more clubs. I don't really want to worry about like Jack 10 or anything getting there. So I get a fold behind me. We're on to the button who talks and thinks about it and wonders and thinks, can I do this? He folds, and the guy to my right makes the call for $15. Again, building a pot, not really worried until the 4 o'clock comes out. Then I'm just thinking there, well, this kind of sucks. So he checks, and I'm going, well, what do I really want to do here? This is not exactly the best thing in the world. So I bet $33. Why? No rhyme or reason. Just figuring, hey, I'm going to make it look like I've got the clubs, or I've got a set, or I don't need to worry. And kind of, you put this money in, you think, okay, maybe I'm good here. I got two pair. Hoping, kind of thinking this could be bad. I might have just burnt this $33. He cuts out the chips. He puts them down. He thinks about some more. Finally puts the call in. And yes, it's a home game, so he just takes the money out of the pot for the $2 change. It doesn't really matter. With the Queen of Spades on the river, it's, again, not a card I'm super worried about. And you can see my chip stack slide forward right there, because I did that on purpose. I pushed it out and made him, he was laughing about it, because even she has the all-in thing. I'm in there, he checks, I put it in, I fold, he folds. I show my King 9, get rid of the button, and went a pretty good pot when you actually think about it. $33 plus the $15, $45 in profit, plus the $8 in blind raise. But again, flopping two pair, not bad. You join us on a $2 straddle with the Jack 8 of diamonds. We get an $11 raise to our left. We get a fold, and then there's some of these little sad things coming out. Those are the buttons we use for the net game, so this is obviously the start of a new round of that. Then, well, there's the money box, because the dealer who is dealing for us is now coming to play, so there's a little bit of slow action to this. We get a fold, a fold, a fold. I called the $11 thinking, sure, it's only 9 more, and it is the net game. You want to get done with this early, so try. 9 Jack Ace board. Not horrible. Flopping middle pair. I guess technically a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Get a $20 bet. I pretty much snap call it. We're just going to go with this. A 4 of hearts. He checks over to me, and I do his $20 bet. Figuring if he wants to name that price, that's what I'm going to continue to do. He looks at me and he goes, do you think my 2 is coming? He shows 3, 4 of spades. It wasn't coming. We ran the river. It was a 9 of spades. So first hand of the net game, technically getting out of it. Don't have to worry about that hand. Make some profit. And it's a nice, easy way to continue the night, making some profit and not worrying about the stupid game that we play on the side. In this one, you join us with a $2 button straddle, a call from the small blind, a fold from the big blind, and we have the worst hand in poker with the pocket jacks of the black variety. We get a $2 call to our right, and obviously we have a pocket pair, technically, I guess. Well, what? Ace, king, queen, jack, the 4th best starting pair you can go. So we go $17. Figure I want to try and get some money in this, but also not really be super safe about it because it's not a great hand. We get a fold, we get a call, we get a fold, and we're back to our buddy over there on the right, thinking through his options, looking at his cards again, pondering why he's doing what he's doing, because it's just sad, and he knows he's going to lose. Not really, just trying to fill some space here. He ends up making the call. So we're going 3 ways to a flop with the pocket jacks. Again, don't really feel great about these ever. Any ace king, any ace queen, anything like that. Any overpair or overcard comes to the board, which it always seems to do. With a king 4-6 flop, he ends up checking to me. I make it, what's that, $25. We get a snap call to our left, and we're just figuring I am repping that I had a good hand to start. That could be pocket pair, that could be ace king, that could be aces, could be queens, who knows, whatever it is. Trying to continue to show the strength, not checking on the king. Thinks about it for a couple seconds, and he makes the call, and we are on our way to the turn which comes the 9 of diamonds. Okay, not horrible. No straight draws I've got there. It's a rainbow board. Not really worried about anything there. The only thing I'm really thinking about is maybe a king. But whatever. He checks it over to me. So I go 50 doll hairs. Show the guy to my left what I have because he asked, "Hey, were you working with a good hand?" I told him no and showed it to him. had to think about this here. So I end up, well, fiddling some chips, waiting for him to figure out what he wants to do. Blah, blah, blah. Insert some Jeopardy music here. He ends up making the call. $50 two ways into the river. And it's, again, not a card I really wanted to see with the Queen of Diamonds. Well, now Jack 10 gets there. Grand Dime blocking some of those. But any king, ace, queen. So he checks, and I check behind, figuring he was slow playing me. And he goes, "Nope, you were good." He had a gut shot, apparently. So I don't know what that meant. Something with the 3-5 or 5-7. I don't know. But not bad. You join me back with another knit game. That's the stupid little button in front of us. This time the ace 3 of diamonds. Connected ace, suited, can hit a straight, can hit a flush. Not exactly the horrible thing. So I call it the $1 limp. $10 to my left. We get one color down out of the big blind, going 3 ways to the flop. Don't feel super bad about this, especially when you flop an ace. The only problem is I have a pretty much non-existent kicker. Ace 3 is not great in any way, so I bet $20. I get a call to my left. We get a fold down from the big blind. We go to the turn, which is a king of hearts. Again, not a great card, so I bet $20 again, just continuing the aggression, and I get a fold. Pretty easy win here, get some profit, get rid of the knit game, and move away without having to worry about my kicker ever being a issue or needed. So profit, again, always a great thing to do. You join us a little late into this hand with the $40 bet already out there. There was a $6 raise, a $15 re-raise. I made 40, and I was joking with the guy to my left because he had asked if we wanted to switch cards, and I, well, didn't obviously with the pocket aces. The big blind ends up going all in. It was like $67 something, so pretty much an irrelevant call. We get a fold from the big blind, the original raiser. Then the guy to my right ends up for a count, or asks for a count for the $67. And obviously at this point, you're not even thinking about it. I wanted him to call. I want another person in there. I have absolutely no decision to make on this. Whatever the number is, no matter how many people are in, I'm just snapping. Somebody asked me how much I made it, so I perfectly spread it for the 2 sets of 20 for the $40 bet. And we're still tanking here. He's still thinking. He's still pondering and hemming and hawing and, oh no, what do I do? Oh, and right as soon as he grabbed his chips right there, I thought, oh, he's putting it in. This is great. This is perfect. I'm not worried about this at all. I want that extra stack of like $104 or whatever it is right there. I want that money in there. I'm super excited. Like, I think, oh, here we go. He's going to put it in. He ends up folding. Kind of sucks. I snap call because what else are you going to do here? I guess I could have Hollywood and slow rolled, but there's no real point. Just get the money in and be good. We go to a 2 king jack flop, an ace on the turn, and a 4 on the river. We end up winning this hand, and, getting aces, always exactly what you want. Just get as much money in pre-flop, and getting it all in and stacking somebody worked out well in the end. And you join us again with the best hand in poker, pocket aces. This time, sadly, kind of on the other side of things. So there's a limp, a fold, and on the button, I make it $17. Figure there's, $4 in this pot. I can't really go huge, and I guess I should have in the long run, but get a fold from the small blind, get a fold from the big blind, get a call, and then the guy who I stacked with aces before, he said raise, call. I think he was, he was just talking it out like there is a raise and he's calling, but I really wished he'd put more money in again, because then this hand might have played out a little differently. Obviously, pre-flop, best hand in poker. Can't be your worst tying with somebody else. And still was pretty well ahead on the flop with a 6-4-8 board. You're not really worried about 5-7. I mean, I guess you worry maybe pocket eights, maybe pocket sixes, whatever. So I make it $30, figuring that's pretty good. What, 2/3 bet, somewhere around that kind of math. We get a jam, and at this point, I still feel pretty good. I'm not worried about a set. It's over pairs, maybe a straight draw. I'm not really super worried about it. $76, so it's not even that much more than what I bet. We get a fold, and again, just snap call with your aces. Who cares? That 8 right there is what killed us. He had 10-8 for a turned trips, and well, sadly, the giveth and the taketh of the aces. I don't know. I guess I should have bet bigger on the flop and gotten just down to heads up, but I guess it wouldn't really matter either way. If he's calling on the flop, he's going to call all the way too. So sadly, a loss for the aces, but it happens. You join me here after I put the $10 raise in. We had a fold to my right, a fold to my left, and we're sitting here joking around. Oh, is that $10? Can I call with 2 white chips? Typical home game banter. Get a fold, we get a call, and then we get a fold out of the small blind, and we're heads up to the flop. Now, ace jack offsuit, not a bad hand. Broadway, overcards, really hope to connect with something. Kind of do with the queen 7-8 all hearts board. So I have a backdoor straight draw, a flush draw, backdoor, I guess technically 2 straight draws if you want to go low end or Broadway. I bet $20. I get a call onto the turn, which comes the 9 of clubs. Technically helps me in a lot of ways. I'm going to a gut shot straight draw with the 10. Any 10 is going to be good here. So I bet $40. Figure I can also hit my ace. I could hit any heart. I'm probably okay. There's only 2 that beat me here. And then we get into this. So $40 bet. We're sitting here pondering, waiting. And the longer he's taking, the more I'm thinking, oh, he's going to raise me. This is close, pretty soon after the aces hand where I lost to the trip 8s. And the longer he ponders, the more I'm thinking, okay, is he just Hollywooding? Does he have the flush already? I mean, technically that 9 could have screwed me with jack 10 or even 5-6, something low end of the straight. But I end up getting the fold and show our hand, get rid of the nip button, make some profit, get some back from those aces, and not too bad. Into the next hand, we have the king 10 offsuit. Off the $2 button straddle, I limp. We get a call from the big blind. We get a call. We get a call. We get a fold and friendly home game. He thought 3. No, he thought it was $1. So friendly home game. We're going 5 ways to a flop with king 10, $10 in it. Woohoo! Big old pots here. Not exactly the best hand in the world, but can hit some straights over cards again. Same kind of theory as the ace jack hand, and again, missed. Jack 2-8, 2 hearts. So I guess technically I do have a straight draw. I do have a backdoor flush draw. I do have an overcard, which comes so nicely on the turn with the king of clubs. I bet $5. We get a fold. We get a think. I look at both cards. Hem and haw, wonder what do I do? I fold. We get a $5 call from the end of the table too. I thought he was going for the raise because he was grabbing more chips, but it ended up just being a call, and then a call from $5. So we're 3 ways to the river, building a nice small little pot, but not horrible. 5 clubs, complete brick. Never worry about that in any shape or form. So I bet $20. We get a fold, and then we get the cutout chips and think. He's sitting over there going, oh, what can he possibly have? He calls, and I show him the king 10, and he just got pipped. He had king 9, so our kicker ends up playing, winning by 1. Not exactly the worst hand in the world, not a huge pot, but it's one of those fun ones that it's always nice when you hit your card and just that one little bit of a kicker ends up beating somebody else for some profit, and then again, Nick game, don't have to worry about it. On to the next hand. You join me after my $10 raise, which goes all the way back around. We end up getting 3 callers to our $10 raise, so a $40 pot going to the flop. Not horrible. King jack offsuit. Not a bad hand, especially when you flop second pair. Again, would have liked to flop the queen, but can't really be all that sad with a pair and a good kicker on this board, especially with, two clubs on it. Oh, sorry, two spades, one club. End up flopping the jack. So I bet $15. We're doing the home game, hem and haw, talk again down at the end of the table, and it's just kind of one of those things that you're hoping somebody calls, make a little bit of profit, and he does. Ends up throwing a $25 chip in there, so he's going to need some change. We get a fold, and then a fold to the guy from our right. We'll end up two ways to the turn. And again, not too bad about this. Like, don't really feel super scared. It's not the worst flop in the world. Don't think he's really trapping me here. I don't know. With a 5 of diamonds on the turn, it's an absolute brick. Has nothing helpful to either of us. So I go 35, figuring whatever, I'm just going to start putting some money in this pot. Feel like I'm pretty good here. He ends up talking about it, and he tells me, well, do you know what? I'm going to let you have this hand. So I have to show again for the Nick game. I flip it over, and he goes, well, you win, and I let you have the hand. And it's kind of just one of those, again, home game things, fun. He folded before, or he said he's going to let me have it before he even folded. It's just kind of a unserious, home games are fun for that reason. You can do stupid things and talk when you really shouldn't, or I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you talk a lot in home games, or is it just me? This is a pretty quick one. The ace king of diamonds. I'm not going to put a board out here because one, I don't remember it, and two, it's not really relevant. It ends up limping around to us. I make the $10 raise, and we get a call from the button. Everybody ends up folding otherwise, and this just becomes a pot of heads up with the ace king, which is the absolute best drawing hand in poker. Especially suited. I can hit a flush. I can hit a straight. I've got 2 overcards. I can do a lot with this hand. And, well, I whiffed completely. Absolutely nothing on that board hit what I had. I remember this. I don't remember what the cards were. It doesn't really matter. I bet $15 into the pot, and I ended up getting a fold. It's just one of those hands that I felt like putting in because it's just, I wanted to win with ace-king, especially, so I showed him I had absolutely nothing. He ended up having a 2, which was a pair on the board, but he just wanted to win. Off of the $2 button straddle, I make it $11. It folds all the way around to the end of the table to the guy who also makes the call. We get a fold, and then the straddler folds his original cards, or original bet, for some change. So, and this is where we end up doing the little change exchange. Every wondering why there's a $5 chip out there. His cards are gone. And again, another super quick hand. Not really too much to this. Just kind of one of those. I actually got a lot of really nice starting hands this night. Ace Jack, Ace Queen, Ace King, like Queen Jack, a lot of these premium starting hands. And this one flopped pretty good. Ace 10, 10. Again, not a horrible thing unless he has a 10. I don't really think he would there. I bet $15. He folds. Get rid of the knit button. And just a nice, easy win, profitable hand. Worked out really well. You join us here with the limped $2 call off of the straddle with the pocket 5s. We get a fold, a fold, a fold, and then the straddler just ends up putting in the $2, checking his option. So cheap flop, pocket pair, not the greatest one in the world, but get to it easy. Don't have to worry about like a raise and a re-raise. Do I really want to play this hand? To a 3-4-8 board. Not exactly the worst thing in the world. I put the $10 bet in there, figuring I have middle pair to a straight draw, something, a pair in general. I don't think really anybody's going to be playing 3-4-8 anywhere connecting to that. So I put the $10 bet in, get a call to a 7 on the turn. Obviously that kind of helps our straight. 6 now, whatever it is. I bet $20. He folds, and pocket pair ends up going through. Board probably favored us a lot more than it did him, and again, profit, easy, don't have to worry about it. Moving on, get rid of this button again, and on to the next hand we go. Now this is probably going to be my hand of the night, profit-wise, but also just the way it ended up working out. So I'm in the big blind with pocket queens. We have a limp to our left, a limp to our right, a raise to $8, I believe it was, 8 fold, and I make it 21. Figuring I got, the third best hand in poker. I've got to put some money in this pot, especially when somebody's raising before me. Can feel like I'm probably pretty good to put some money in and not scare everyone away. So we get a caller, and the original raiser calls too. So we're 3 ways to the flop. which comes out Gin, Queen, King, 2. I've got middle set on this board. I feel like I'm pretty happy. Check, check, check. Probably should have put some money in there. And in the end, it probably doesn't really matter. Onto the turn, which is a 4 of spades. Don't really like that one because, just brings in the flush draw. But still have a set, can still hit a boat if I'm behind. Don't have to really be super worried. So I bet $25. I get a call, and then the button makes it $50. I pretty much snap call, figure whatever. I'm hoping for a board pair, but I can't fold this yet and be afraid of this. Min click, and who knows. So guy at the end of the table also calls $150 into the pot on the turn. On the river, it's a 5 of diamonds. I guess it technically brings in a straight draw, but you're never playing ace 3 here unless it's spades, and that way you've already got his flush, so I'm behind either way. I end up just jamming. We get a fold, a snap call, and he shows pocket 2s for bottom set against middle set. $114 on the river. This was a full double up for me, plus some from the other guys, $50, $70. So this was just on profit, the best hand of the night, but also it worked out really well. I guess kind of slow playing my set, and I don't think I'm getting any more money either way because the other guy folded. So if I'd bet on the flop, it probably wouldn't have changed anything. But so the outro, we are in for 2 hundo. We are out for 435. Not a bad night. Kind of a weird one because I was like, as you'll see through this video, like up $100 even, up $100 even, and then I got quartered on a bomb pot, so I ended up like losing a good portion of my chips. And then a couple good hands towards the end, obviously, as we've seen, and up $235. Not exactly the worst thing in the world. Poker vlog number 7, a success. And hopefully to the future me, I did say what the cards were for the boards, so hopefully you guys get some boards in the bottom corner, unlike the last vlog. But that being said, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things you can on this platform because it does help me a lot. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. Peace.